guys, today's the start of another 3-day trip. I'm running late on my way to the airport. I'll see you when I get there. I'm just now getting to the airport. The flight is boarding now, so I'm making my way to the gate. See you when I get there. All right, so I'm in JFK now, sitting at my gate, waiting. We have 3 legs today. We go to Charlotte, JFK to Charlotte, Charlotte to Detroit, and then Detroit to Greenville, I think. So I'll talk to you guys again when I get on the plane. All right, you guys, we are on a 717 aircraft today. I'm doing my safety checks. Ew, it's wet over here. It's nasty. Okay. So yeah, we just got on the plane. I have to get a bag for my coat. I don't like putting my coat in the overhead bin bare, so I put it in a trash bag. That's just a little tip from me to you. Sorry, these older planes are so loud. Hello, you guys. We have just finished our first leg to Charlotte. We have like an hour on the ground, so I'm gonna see if I can eat my food really quick and before we start boarding. Okay, so we are now in Detroit. Second leg of 3. We have to switch planes to go to Greenville. It is 12:12. I am now getting to the hotel room. What happened was, and I don't like my hair, I look like a mop, but what happened was we had 3 legs today. We went from JFK to Charlotte, Charlotte to Detroit, and Detroit to Greenville. Now, the East Coast is expecting some weather right now. So the plane that we were using to come here to Greenville was coming in from Chicago, and the weather is in Chicago right now. So there was ground stops, which means that there's basically like a hold. You can't take off or land with a ground stop. So the plane was supposed to land at 7 something, then it said it was landing at 9, then it said it was landing at 10, and that was just pushing back our departure time. So while we were sitting and waiting, one of the crew members got a call from scheduling that she had been rerouted, and they took her off our trip and put her on a DC trip. So we got a new crew member who was coming in on that same Chicago flight for the plane that we were supposed to take over. So we're sitting waiting, and the flight still hadn't taken off. The ground stop had not been released. And then all of a sudden, I check my schedule again, and I see we got a new plane, and then it's at the gate, and our departure time was 9:30. And at this time, it was like 9:11. So me and the other crew member are now scrambling to get to the gate because no one made us aware that our departure time had changed and our plane had changed, more importantly. So we got to the gate, and they were waiting for us. And we got on, and we got here. And that Chicago flight, it's 12:12 now, took off probably about 30 minutes ago. So we would have still been sitting in Detroit at this point, waiting for that plane to land to now fly here to Greenville. So I have about 7 hours to sleep, and then I get up and we have 4 legs tomorrow. So I have to rewind a bit. I told you that one of our crew members got sent to DC, so we were down a crew member. So they gave us a Detroit-based crew member. And he only works with us for 1 leg. So tomorrow we go Greenville to Atlanta, and then he's done and we get back our original crew member. So while I was editing this video, I noticed that I didn't update you guys on what actually happened on day 2 of the 3-day trip. I said that we were going to get our original crew member back once we got to Atlanta, but that didn't happen. So after we got to Atlanta, we noticed that we got another crew member who was Atlanta based to do the Pensacola turn, because our original crew member who laid over in DC that night wouldn't have made it back to Atlanta in time to pick up the rest of the trip. So instead of her working with us from Atlanta to Pensacola, back to Atlanta, and then BWI, she met up with us for the last leg of that day, which was Atlanta to BWI. And we do Atlanta, Pensacola, Pensacola, Atlanta. So that's a Pensacola turn out of Atlanta. And then BWI, which is another short layover. So we'll see what happens, because the DC area is supposed to be getting weather tomorrow too. So I don't know if it's gonna affect us in any way. So yeah, I'm tired. I'm getting ready to go to sleep, and I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, you guys. Today's the start of day 2 of this 3-day trip. On the plane now, we go to Atlanta. It's a pretty short flight, so there's no service on this flight, which is good. So yeah, I'll see you when we get to Atlanta. All right, you guys, we just got to Atlanta. Leg 1 of 4 for today is complete. We changed aircrafts to do our Pensacola turn. I'm now in Baltimore for my layover. We have 4 legs today. I'm exhausted. Another short layover. We leave at 6:20 tomorrow morning. It is 7:31. Yeah. So I'll show you my room. So something I normally do that I call the slasher check is, before I bring my bag all the way in, I check the closet in the bathroom to make sure there's no one in here waiting for me. And I kick underneath the beds, because the beds now have like these little borders, like this bed has the border. You see that right there? But this bed doesn't. So, oh, it does. Never mind. So I kick that to make sure there's no one there. And then the coast is clear. So this is my view. Nothing fancy, nothing cute.